Hello, and welcome to Bourbon Bartender. My name's Ari, and I'm a software engineer that loves bourbon. So today we're going to do a fun review. Twins, Basil. So I'm a big fan of Smoke Wagon, HNC Distilling. They're out of Nevada, and they're an NDP. So they're a non-distilling producer, meaning they don't make their own distillate. But that doesn't mean they just buy someone else's already aged juice and turn it into their own product. They actually buy the distillate, in this case from MGP, Midwest Grain Products of Indiana, and they age it in Nevada, which has very unique temperature shifts. So they're a really great brand. I've been following them. I still don't think I can buy them in Indiana. Which is hilarious given their distillate comes from 2 hours south of me. But whatever, this is the way. So every one of their barrels is unique. And so they have both small batch bourbon, they've got rye, they got single barrel bourbon, and all their bottles are very unique. So like they have the small batch Desert Colt full strength. Actually, this might be, no, I don't think this is single barrel. I think this is small batch, but I could be wrong. But it's cool. It used to come in a brown bottle, but then to cut costs, they changed to this. Brown bottles started to get harder to find. But Desert Colt, yummy, yummy as a daily drinker. They're known for their bottles having these cool medallions in them. I'm not sure how well you can see this, but this is the single barrel. And it's very cool because like in Nevada, when you get a bottle of this, sometimes you'll see the dates. You can't really see it. This one's from 2022, batch 143B. Sometimes it's only like a year, or pardon me, like a week old. It's pretty fascinating. Some of them are only like a week old, and it's very cool seeing that on the label. Their rye, this is the Blender Select, comes with this cool white medallion. And then what we're going to do tonight is we're going to try their single barrel proof. These come with a red medallion, but there was a special batch that was aged, I think it's almost 7 years, or just about 7 years, and it was called Batch 39. And I'll leave a link to them discussing Batch 39. But all the bottles that came in 2024 are Batch 39, and the reason it's called Batch 39 is because this is the 39% rye recipe. I absolutely loved the first bottle of this. You can see twins, or so we think. This is from Evergreen Liquors. This is the Smoked Pigs pick. And then this is the Provisions pick. This one's from Louisville in the Nulu area. And then this is from Tulsa, Oklahoma at 71st Wine and Spirits. Now, I just happened to be in Oklahoma, and I loved Batch 39 so much, and the single barrels were so hard to find that I broke my no bourbon buying through the rest of the year rule, because I have so many bottles, and bought this. So what's fun is even though they're from the same, I think they were aged in the same rickhouse, they do taste different. So, I mean, obviously, I've already dug into both of them. But the review for this I did in June, and it's on Lick. So I'm going to do a review of this tonight. The new bottle I just got, clocking in at about 118 proof. The other one's just shy of 114 proof. And so I'm going to do a Lick tasting of this, and then I'm going to use the head-to-head comparison feature of Lick just to compare my tasting notes from between the two. So this should be a lot of fun. If you have not checked out HNC Distilling, that's H and C. You can use an ampersand. Oh, you can also, it just says HC. See if you can see that. Or just search for Smoke Wagon. It's easier. They used to have it where you could buy these online. That store seems to have disappeared, but their distribution has expanded. So maybe you can find it near you. If not, maybe call the distillery. It used to be, I don't know why that got shut down. I'm going to have to ask them. So I'm going to pour this, and then we'll try it on lick. Okay, so tonight we're going to use my Annie's Party Shop glass. They're in Michigan. They're a cool place. If you're in Michigan, near like Farmington Hills or Farmington. I don't know Michigan that well. They have a ton of barrel picks. I mean, like a quarter of the store is barrel picks. So definitely check them out. They're very cool people. They know their stuff. They've got a bourbon and whiskey club. Love those guys. I gotta go back there. So let's get this poured. Now, on the label, it says something S. There's something in Latin. I know that I looked it up. I found an article that explained what it says. So on the label it says "Bibimus moriendum est," which means drink, for we must die. A little morbid, but you know what? You know, if this was your last drink, that's not too bad. So according to the company, according to this article, it means drink and enjoy today because we won't be around forever. That's so true. So enjoy what you can when you can. So I have already set up the tasting and lick. Easy enough to do. I'm using the website version of it tonight, just because I have my full-size keyboard, and you probably don't want to see me poking around on my phone. So let's try this out. Oh yeah, that honey's there. Spice. So we've got honey. We've got oak. Definitely a little bit of oak, and not overpowering. Let's see the legs on this. Ooh, the legs are nice. Nice long legs. Some dark fruit. Maybe plum. And a little floral. A little dark fruit or plum. It might even be blueberry. I'm going to go with blueberry. That's rough. Almost, gosh, it's almost like a red. It's a dark fruit. It's not cherry. I'm going to go with dark fruit. And maybe I'm just going to put blueberry in there. Some of them, maybe a little of the vanilla. Maybe what I'm getting is a cola, but no. I'm going to run with it. I'm going to run with blueberry because I've shown this before. I'm a huge fan of this. This is the Bourbon Real Talk one, but there's plenty of them. But this is a nosing kit. Hopefully they don't all fall out. You can kind of see it has a bunch of different vials, and it covers chocolate, coffee, petrol, banana, blueberry, cherry, fig, dill, nutmeg, peppermint. So if you wanted to start training your nose for some of these things, I have had an absolute blast with this. I don't remember it being super expensive. I mean, it wasn't like $20, but it also wasn't $500. So I know in one of my videos I mentioned it. I'll try to at least put a screenshot of it here, and I might even put a link. I don't think I've got my Amazon affiliate stuff set up, so I'm not in this to make money. I'm a software engineer. I built Lick for fun. I love bourbon, and if I can help you enjoy bourbon more, then that's my goal. Even in Lick recently, I added videos and bourbon news because I wanted to see more bourbon news. So now you get to get access to that, and I'm actually starting to include some of the bourbon bartender videos in Lick so that people can learn about different things. I haven't put the tastings in there because I mean that's kind of like a waste for the app, but distillery tours, how to taste bourbon, things like that. That's what I'm putting in the app to help educate. Because I find when you learn some of those basics, I mean, assuming you're new at something, like bourbon or new to bourbon, you might find that interesting, and you might not know what questions to ask. So if I can help you, great. And of course, if you have questions, ask in the comments. I try to respond as quickly as I can. All right, so let's taste this. Oh gosh, maybe. No, there is. Gosh, now I'm getting maybe a little vanilla frosting. Mmm. Yeah, definitely getting the vanilla frosting. Some mint. Mmm. Now, I have pointed out before, your palate changes. I think it changes every day with every meal. Uh, so earlier today, for like dinner, I had fish and chips at this new British pub or British restaurant that just opened next to me. Um, Obviously, I've like washed my mouth out and all that other stuff, but I do find that if you eat food, it will affect your palate to some extent. In this case, I knew I was going to do some tasting later, so I tried to eat something a bit more bland and nothing spicy. I find that if I have anything that's really spicy, it completely throws off my palate, and I have problems with bourbon those and whiskeys those evenings. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the capsaicin. I don't know. Is that the right phrase or the right term? Um, this is so good. I tell you, I love Batch 39. Maybe a little mocha. Maybe some oak. No, I mean, it's mocha, but it's kind of like cocoa powder. It's not as sweet as mocha. Um, a little bit of pepper, a little peppery, a little peppery, kind of like a cayenne or like a rye spice. Um, I'm gonna go with pepper. I'm not sure what pepper I think, but it's there, and there's some oak. I really like that. Okay, now for the finish. I only poured myself like half an ounce because I got to go out later. Yeah, it might be a cayenne. What's a cayenne? Which might be the rye. I might be confusing because rye spice just it's a little spicy. has that kind of edge to it. Um, I get the vanilla is still there. Um, I want to think that that blueberry may have come through on the palate, but I'm not convinced. I think it moved away into like a subtle sweet uh, cocoa note. It fell apart. And maybe there's some mint on this, but that could also be alcohol burn. I've talked about that before. Not exactly alcohol burn, but just I mean, when you get into 118 proof, I mean, friends, it's gonna linger. 118 proof doesn't just go away. Uh, so this is the way. Um, okay, so the nose I really liked. I'm gonna give that a 4. The palate, uh, I also really liked. I think I go 4s all the way across. Um, this was really good. I don't think it was as. I don't recall it being as good as the smoked pigs one. And they told me when I went to Evergreen that they had an even better batch 39 pick like a few weeks earlier. I'm like, there was something better than this. Like, I mean, I think I rated that. What did I rate it? I can look it up. I've got Lick. I can look it up. I can just go to my tastings and type smoke and it pops up. Let's see. The Evergreen pick. Uh, I gave it a 90. Yeah. So I was going to give this an 88. So there we go. So let's see. I'm going to say look for Smoke Wagon. I'm going to give this an 88. I really like this. Gosh, this is good. It's a little spicier, but I really like it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this feature that I built in Lick. So what's interesting is I've met a lot of master tasters and master distillers now. And they're so interesting because they just have so much experience. But I have found a number of them that use Lick. Yeah, it doesn't bring me to 1,000 users, but I built Lick as a tool, so for your tastings, for your collection. And if you're a master taster or a master distiller, you have a lot of those. So a feature that I added was head-to-head comparisons. So you could say, I want to take these 3 samples or batches or tastings, and I want you to compare it for me. And it'll actually show you nose, palate, and finish what's common by showing it in green, what exists but isn't in the same place, like it might be on the palate but not the nose, or if it's just it doesn't exist, across the tastings. And it's very cool messing with that feature. So I'll put a screenshot of it, but I'm going to go ahead and pick my Smoke Wagon, Smoked Pigs release, and this other release. Now I'm going to tap head to head. Okay, so what was common? What did I find common? So the common thing that I found on this is that the finish had vanilla. Okay. Now it's interesting how like nothing else was common. So the first one that I had, the smoked pigs on the nose was black cherry, it was floral, it was vanilla candle, and it was wildflower. Whereas here, I got on the provisions when I got blueberry, close. Remember the dark fruit, black cherry, blueberry, floral, and wildflower and vanilla candle. Then on the palate, for the smoked pigs, the other release, I got buttercream icing, honey, and molasses. And in this case, I got cocoa powder, mint, oak, pepper, and vanilla frosting. So still a pretty sweet palate. And then the finish was long oak, vanilla, and vanilla candle. Whereas the finish for this batch 39 was cayenne, rice spice, and vanilla. So what's interesting about this, even though these are two bottles from, I think, the same rick house, they taste very different. So this goes to show you that the barrel makes a difference, the age makes a difference, the proof makes a difference, your palate makes a difference. So this is another reason that single barrels. I haven't had that much to drink. Single barrels are so much fun because you really do experience even the same brand with the same distillate for the same amount of time, effectively. Two very different experiences. So that being said, you can find the review on Lick now. I'll post some details about H&C distilling so you can learn more. But I hope you enjoyed this review, and see you next time. And in the meantime, please download Lick. Tell me what you think. If you want new features, of course, let me know. Just go to the link that says feedback, bug reports, and features. You can just add it right there. I look at that stuff almost as soon as it comes in. I'd love to hear back from you. Again, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe, and happy holidays.